Hi, I'm Wanda with Jimmy Branch Homestead, and today I am going to make a recipe that is great for taking to parties, events, and with the holidays coming up. And it's also great for like get-togethers, Sunday meals, family reunions, all of those kind of things. It's fairly quick and easy to make, and it is stuffed mushrooms. So I used to be intimidated by the thought of making stuffed mushrooms. It sounded very difficult. And I got a recipe from my cousin, finding out it's pretty easy. So I'm going to start off with, actually I'm going to own half the recipe because there's only my husband and I here. We don't have any parties going on right now. But I will have the full recipe in the description box below. Okay. So I'm going to start off with, I've preheated the oven to 350 degrees, and then I need to spray the pan. Now, if you were making the full batch, you would use a 9x13 pan. Since I only have 8 ounces of mushrooms instead of the 1 pound, I'm going to use, I think it's an 8x8. Let me see if it says on the bottom. Yeah, it just says 2 quart, but I believe it's an 8x8. And we just want those mushrooms to slide out very easy when we go to serve them or eat them. Okay. So next I need to start preparing the mushrooms. And what I'm going to do first here, just remove the plastic. You'll know that you have a little bit of dirt. You can wash them, but I don't like the feel that they leave. So I really just kind of wipe the dirt off with a paper towel. And that, of course, is just because they grow them in a loose dirt medium. So as I clean these mushrooms, I'm going to go ahead and carefully remove the stems. We do not want to break the body or the head of, or the main part of the mushroom, because we're going to stuff those. So we just need to, and it is pretty easy, you just gently tug it, and you'll have a hole here in the middle, and you'll have the stems to the side. So I'll put the whole mushrooms to the side and put the stems over here because I need to further process those. What kind of appetizers do you like to take to parties or serve at parties? I'd be interested, so leave it in the comments below. I also have a very good recipe which I've previously recorded for Reese's bars, and I've served that at family reunions, taken it to picnics, Christmas parties. It always goes over very big. It too is pretty easy, so check out my playlist. Okay, the next step is I basically need to take these mushroom stems and dice them up. They are going to be a good part of our filling for the mushrooms. Of course, we're going to put other goodies in it. And you want to dice them up pretty small. I do them about the size what I would do with garlic. Almost finished now. And again, I'm just making these a nice dice size. You want them pretty small because it's for the filling. Okay, so this is what I have in my bowl so far, and we're going to add this. Okay, so the next step, we are going to finally chop up or cut up these chives. And the recipe calls for 2 chives, and that's for a full dish, or excuse me, a 1 pound of mushrooms. So I'm going to start with just 1. And again, it's going in the filling, so you don't want them, you know, real big. So the chives is just to give it a little bit more added flavor and color. And again, I'm using fresh chives. So I get these from the grocery store in the produce section. And they just come, you know, I've seen them like in little, real small bags sealed, or like with a Ziploc seal. These came in a little clear box, and you can just open and close it. Of course, it's going to be fun getting these back in the box. All right. Nothing like fresh chives. But with summertime, I use them from the garden. We're just going to give that a little quick mix there. Okay, now we're going to get ready for the other ingredients. Okay, so if I were making the full recipe, I would use a complete block of cream cheese. I like the Philadelphia cream cheese, but you can use whichever you prefer. Since I'm making a half batch, I need to cut this in half. And like butter packages, this has 1 ounce increments on the package, so that makes it very easy. I'm just going to put this in a separate bowl. And to that we're going to add a half a cup of mayonnaise because I'm doing again, the half batch. If you were doing a full batch, of course you would use a full cup. And we just want to blend those together or mix them together really well until they're nice and smooth and creamy. So I like to use a fork. It helps me to get down in there, at least until it gets fairly broke up. We're blended together pretty smooth now. So I want to keep as much of that goodness as I can. And we're going to add that to the mushroom and chives. Okay, now we're just going to mix that together. First time I made this, I made it at my dad's house, and he says, "Oh my gosh, that's way too much filling." I said, "Follow the recipe." So it's not going to fill just that little tiny hole. It's going to be a nice big mounded filling that's going to be very yummy. Okay, looks like we've got that pretty well incorporated. Okay, so now we are just going to fill these mushrooms. And it gave me, there was a dozen mushrooms in there, which is fine for just the two of us. Like I said, when I go to parties, I always take a full tray and sometimes a couple of trays, depending on how many people are going to be there. And if it's just an appetizer kind of thing, or if it's a meal. If it's a big meal, I usually only take one. And I just kind of go around and fill them all, and then I'll come back and I'll add to them once I have some in each one. Okay, so at this point, I am going to sprinkle bacon bits on the top. The original recipe calls for 2 slices of bacon fried to crispy and then broke up in smaller pieces. And then you put that all over the top. That's how I usually do it. But this is a quick, easy way. It's not messy. This keeps well in the refrigerator once you have it open. So I do use these bacon bits for a lot of things. And I really like the Oscar Mayer brand. I get these from Walmart. So I am just going to, let me put them on my hand so I can see what I got here. Now these don't look like it, but they are going to be very rich and yummy. You could add a little bit of sprinkled cheese if you so desired, but I found that it really doesn't need it because you already have the cream cheese. Stick a little bit more. Okay, and that's all there is to assembling. Okay, so we're going to put these in the oven. Again, I have it preheated to 350 degrees, and we're going to keep them in there for half an hour. And then I will check them, and I'll bring you back. So I baked the mushrooms for about 35 minutes. They weren't quite done. They weren't really brown. I think they were done. They just weren't browning. So then I put it under the broiler for just a couple of minutes to get them nice and golden brown. And now we're going to go ahead and try them. Again, these are very rich but very tasty. And I have served them at several different kinds of parties or get-togethers, family reunions, just dinner guests. Of course, they shrink up a little bit when they're cooked. Mushrooms always do. Isn't that just yummy looking? Okay, time for the taste test. The mushrooms are done, but not mushy. Nice, creamy filling. Lots of flavor. I just love these, and the recipe is so easy. So I like to make them again and again. I hope you enjoy them too. We wish you a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. So if you're enjoying this type of video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and share our videos on your social media. It's the best way you can help our channel to grow. Thank you so much for watching Jimmy Branch Homestead. Take care and God bless.